What's going on? I wanted to talk about today new materialistic items or technology really isn't new. And one of the items I was going to start out with, what you need to realize though, is everything's already been here. And technically, it's always it always was here. Everything was here before. Nothing new can come. And you probably may have heard of this. You know, the life and death cycle. And another one would be everything feeds off of each other. Matter never dies. Energy never dies. And it's true. Now, things like the new iPhone, this is all just propaganda and a lie. And I'm just giving this education for you to wake you up. And we'll get into awake people, what it really means. But when you have some sort of a business, and especially a business when something really doesn't even rely on a necessity like phones, it's a business, so they keep coming out with models because they got to. That's their business. Also, they have to come out with something completely different, and they have to keep winding you in and pulling you in just in one big feedback loop, or like a tug of war that never ends and there's never a winner. And they keep putting you in this cycle, especially with money, because that's how business work, and that's how capitalists work, Marxism, whatever you want to search in for it. And the iPhone, it's not new. No technology is new. And some people might find that hard to believe, and especially unwoke people, which nothing against you or them, but it's already been here. Everything back in the day, or way back before anything, there's even reminiscence of this. Pyramids created electricity. Electricity is for free, and it's in the air, and it's everywhere. It's unlimited source of energy, and it's always there. Pyramids, the water flew under it, and then whatever, there are crystals, quartz, gold, and it was always the water though below the pyramids. They don't usually tell you about it. Pyramids aren't tombs. They're energy centers, life force, and they gather electricity. That's why they're found everywhere. No one built a big ass tomb for one person with no people ever found in it. Whatever, I don't care about the conspiracies or whatever, but this is true. And this is why somebody as Nikolai Tesla replicated the idea, because he knew energy is infinite and it's always in the air and it never dies. Matter doesn't. It can't be recreated. It can only just basically move forward in an endless cycle. So, and Nikolai Tesla, if you want to search into him, he built something. Of course, they covered it all up, destroyed him. You know, I think Thomas Edison took everything out of him. Yeah, it was pretty sure it was him. And, you know, but it's because they don't want you to have this unlimited energy. They want to control us. That's why the iPhone, you know, the new iPhone 11 or whatever, they're never going to stop making iPhones, but they are not advancing the technology either. Which is, it's already automatically all advanced to pretty much all the way more than we know. Any technology is already there, pretty much to the infinite possibility. That's why you hear of things such as like UFOs, time travel, and just sci-fi things along those lines that probably ain't real when you listen to a lot of them. Gamma ray guns or things like that. But it's already here. And the reason why you might not find cell phones in the past, like with the ancient pyramids, or certain computers in the pyramids or things like that, because they were so wise in technological advance, they didn't need things like this. They used other things that were more freely. And how the industry or whatever, like I said, it's a feedback loop. They gotta keep buying things. Food you pretty much always have to get, but that's a necessity. Whereas it comes to a phone, you know, you don't need it, and they just make you depend on it. Especially nowadays, it's a type of capitalist and slavery, and that's what they do, and because that's what they got to do. They appeal to your emotions, make you pay for things you don't need to pay for, and then make you work harder for less and do jobs you don't need to do. And they also, I forget what I was going to say, something on that. But ultimately, they don't really care about you, and they want to get you in the feedback loop. And like technology some of it isn't necessary at all, but they got to keep buying you in. And that's why, like, they'll downgrade your phone or make sure it won't work anymore, or, you know, make a new one appeal so much. That's why they use the materialistic objects in the world. And younger people especially don't know a lot about it because they're never taught, and neither were their parents per se. And there's nothing wrong with materialistic items, but it's because ultimately that's one big thing to only talk about. But of course there's other things. But how they make it is you got to keep coming after these things. And like I was saying, the phones, the computers, the new cars, you see, you know, it went from black and white TV, well, probably like a radio antenna, to a black and white TV, to you know, a big box TV, to a color box TV, to a flat screen, to, I don't even watch TV, I don't even know about TVs, but they got 3D, HD, you know, all these round curve. They're suppressing technology to you. It's all already here. It's nothing new. It's just like it's all hype is what it is, and there is nothing new. And you see, it came to a limit. They invented TV, but they never invented anything, maybe a little bit, but it's already been here. Maybe something like, you know, whatever, that's a little bit more better than TV, such as like the phone, for example, and you can connect anywhere through the face. Just like the phone, that's a great example. You know, they had the corded phone, or probably something before that with the cups. Then they had the cordless phone. Then they had a cell phone, a flip phone, and then, you know, then they had a touch screen. Now they got iPhones and all these type of phones. The thing is, they always had them for the beginning. They did. They're just suppressing the technology to make you keep buying it. If they were to give it all of it at once, then we wouldn't need to keep buying the products. So it's with it's not just phones. And you notice how, like, you know, okay, you made a phone, but you never made any, it's hard for you to understand this point as I'm about to make. They never made anything advanced above that. I did make similar casualties in what I was just talking about, but such as the car, you know, they had like horses, buggies, and then they, you know, made different type of cars, but they just keep making cars. We could be flying around easily, so easily. It's not, some people can't think that and don't understand on that intellectual level, and that's fine, and they're going to completely deny it. But they don't want us to fly around pretty much freely. We can. Just all the traffic on the ground, we could be in the air. There'd pretty much almost be no traffic at all, because we'd just be going. UFOs are already here. The starships, the spaceships, they're already here. They don't want you to know. Cloaking, incognito, whatever you want to call it, holograms. I mean, I understand. I don't even pay attention to like new technology because it's not interesting to me at all. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with being interested in it, but I don't like the fact that how they're releasing it and how they're you know, hyping it up and making it seem like something that it's really not, and it's always been here. They already have all the information, all the technology. It just depends on when and where they want to release it, and how they're going to profit off it, and whose hands is it going to go in. It's already out there, and there are so many things that you don't even know about that are already out there that they don't want you to even know about. And that's why how they release it. And I hope I got that down, because there's a lot of suppression, and that's what I want to talk about. And I hit the thing about Nikolai Tesla. You could look into that, along with that going with the pyramids. And all you have to do is a little bit of research, because it's out there now. And just know nothing's really new, and people are hyping up things and destroying things, because energy is unlimited. Cars can run on water, cars can run on electricity, but they don't want that. They want to control it, the input, to make you put an output, which is your energy. They get their input, basically, which is all controlled. And again, they don't want you to have, or they only want you to have a limit to it. They don't want you to be free, basically, and that's kind of like the spiritual world we're in. And those are just all the things. I mean, I could go on for a long time, but I hit the examples like nail in the coffin, and there's a bunch more. I mean, it's really endless. And you know, and then I just want to go over this last thing. Woke people are people who have awake, third eye, agna, because a lot of people don't understand anything, all the shit I'm saying. People do, they're starting to wake up. That's why they call them wake up, or maybe enlightened. I'm not going to get into enlightened though, but if you want to use that term. But a lot of people are going to completely deny this, not understand it, because it's super big picture and it never ends, and it's far. So wake people are just realize what's going on in the world. Some understand the different degrees, some don't comprehend it at all, some don't care about it, some stumble upon it for several reasons. So this is what awake people is. Woke. They understand that life is pretty much a joke, and we're pretty much being hanged by our balls or captive all the time. Unless you live in the middle of the woods or somewhere way off mainstream. Which you probably wouldn't even be viewing this video. And you know, those people don't I mean, I've heard stories that they don't use technology because they don't need technology, such as in like electricity, because they don't need it. You could call them primitive, whatever, basic people, but they're probably the happiest people because they don't need anything, and they're fine with their little tribe or village. And it's just as simple as that. They never need it anymore, and they live basically and off the land. And that's what I was going back to, like the ancient pyramid and stuff. You know, if you read the hieroglyphics and or the scriptures or any of the pictures they have, they show everything. I mean, whether you can read it or not, you could just research and get a translation real quick. Whether it's translated correctly and all the info's there or not, they put it there for a reason, for one. And two, like I said, they had technology there, such as electricity, but it was just, they used it on a different level and way freely, like way more freely, you know, and they could do whatever they want whenever, basically. And that pretty much sums it up. Sub to the channel, give me a like. If you have any video requests, let me know. Yeah, check out some other videos.